What's up, my dudes? I'm just going to be letting you guys know real quick some of the changes that I'm making to my YouTube channel. So I'm going to bring back the top 10 donators of all time because I think that was just a really special thing for a lot of those people that donated way back in the day, and I just think it's something I never want to get rid of that. And I'm going to be adding on top of that the #1 top monthly donator as well, and I'm actually going to be doing a lot more with the top 10 of all time donator thing and the top 1 monthly donation thing. I'm going to actually start putting that at the end of a lot of the videos on the screen and different stuff like that. And don't forget, any of the donations, I do read the message actually in a video unless you specify for me not to. And I may do like some special things with the top 10 donators, like maybe a giveaway for them or do something special for the top monthly donator or whatever the case may be. So I'm going to be keeping up with that a lot better, and I'm going to be actually putting that at the end of a lot of the videos, and so that you guys get more recognition, and it's like, oh, hey, my name's at the end of a Spencer Turley video and stuff like that. So I just think it'd be cool more so than just putting it in the description. I know I kind of toyed around with it a little bit before, but I'm really going to try to put that into as many videos as I can. Like, follow me on this page, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to start putting that in the videos and stuff at the end, so I think it'll be cool. But check this section out, dude. Why did the track not go right here, dog? This would have been perfect. Oh my gosh. Why did the track go on the side of that and not right down the middle? I don't know. But either way, this track is made by Kaze, I'm pretty sure is how you say his name. And this reminded me a lot of my early day sort of track biome creativity. It just seemed like this track really felt like something totally unique. I've never seen anything like this on a motocross game before. Now, I did actually have this idea in my head. This is one of the ideas I had in my head for a custom track, and it was just a matter of time until someone made it. But the reason why I never really made it like an Aztec sort of track before is because I could never really find a good enough decal that looked realistic enough, that had the Aztec rocks on it, that didn't like overlay in a really weird way. But he managed to find a really good decal for that on here, so he pulled it off pretty well. Somehow I got totally turned around and didn't even realize it right here. Oh, what the hell, Spencer? Come on, dog. That's like, that never happens to me, but somehow it did right there, man. I mean, I didn't even realize I was going backwards right there. But sorry for me rambling on here and not talking about the track. I just had to get that off because I know I was all talking about, oh man, I'm going to go to this 3 monthly donator thing and blah, 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 and do all this crap. But it's just, there's just something cool about a top 10 of all time, you know, and I feel like it's almost like a disgrace to the people that have donated to just take that off of there to a certain extent. It really is. And I feel like having a top 1 monthly would still allow some people to get to be the top of something if they didn't have, like, you know, however much money to be a top of all time donator. They could still get on a list in some kind of way there. So so I think that's about the best way to do it. But yeah, man, this track, pretty cool. I mean, it's got a, I really love this whole portion of the track where he's got this like super elevation. He's got an awesome fog effect on the track. Really makes you feel like you're in an Amazon forest or something like that. Love how he put that together. Now, the whole track does seem to have a bit of a slickness to it. Like, and it doesn't necessarily look like it, but the whole track, it's what I would call light mud. I mean, it really is like light, like it's just either just drizzled on the track or something. There is a little bit of slickness to it, but I just love the way he put together that whole section where he come down that super far downhill, and then you like make a corner and through the water section and then a waterfall. It just really immersed me into the track. That one section of the track over there just really did it for me. Every other section, it can feel a little bit similar. And now his different little Aztec, what do you even call it? Aztec, it's not really a building, is it? Or is it? I don't know. Whatever. Fucking pyramid building structure. I don't know what you call it. But either way, where he's got his little Aztec things, that's what the whole track is kind of based around. I mean, Aztec MX, I think, is the name of it. But it's like, I don't know how much some of these other trees and stuff really matches that vibe. I mean, some of these trees almost look like they belong in just like a standard woodland. You know what I mean? And then you got like Aztec stuff over here. So even though I do feel like it does give you a jungle feeling in a certain sense, I don't know if his trees that he did choose for it were necessarily perfect for that sort of vibe. I feel like the trees in Mexico, or I'm pretty sure that's where all that stuff is. I don't know. I could be wrong. But like, I'm pretty sure the trees around that would be a bit more tropical, or not necessarily tropical, but a bit more jungly, not so much like woodland, you know? That's just what I would think, but maybe that's just me. I don't know. But, so, I mean, like I said, the track does have this slickness, but there is a few sections where it gets like super muddy, super slick, like extra slick from the other sides of the other parts of the track, like and where the actual Aztec parts are is super traction like you're on concrete, so you got to be careful not pull around Villapoto on that shit. But here's that section I love a lot where he just like captured this super deep canyon but fog on it, and I don't know, it just feels like a wonderland or something. It's kind of cool. It really gives you that Amazon forest feeling here, minus the types of trees he used. But other than that, I thought it was pretty cool. But his mud sections, where it's actually got the mud tile map, I mean, it's super slick. It's almost like it's a mud mixed with sand or something. I don't know. Can't say I was like just a super fan of the way it felt, but it was okay. But it'll definitely, like, if you try to scrub off of some of these jumps, you'll definitely slide on it for sure. So you got to be a little bit careful of that. Now, there is a really cool humongous huck right here that I was being way too much of a pussy to hit. So I was like, screw it, dude. We're going back here. We're hitting this. I don't care. I was like, I've got to hit this jump, man. I'm pretty sure you can do it, but I'm not 100% sure. So this is my first time ever actually going for this Big Daddy jump. And of course, I completely overjumped it by like 30 feet. So then I went and hit it again and figured it out here. But yeah, man, overall, really cool design. Now, I'm pretty sure this guy said this was like maybe a second or third track, something like that. I mean, yeah, like I'm saying, it's executed somewhat, like with his different Aztec buildings and things like that. It is executed in some kind of way, but it definitely does give you that feeling. But I don't know. You can definitely tell it is a bit more of a beginnerly made track, but I still feel like overall it's pretty decent. I mean, there was no section where I was like, that just feels absolutely terrible. Like, I really love this section where you can just hold it 5th gear, absolutely 100% throttle all the way around that corner. And there's just not a lot of sections like that in MX Simulator, so that was a cool little change up right there. Now, that jump, it's got a hell of a kicker on the face of it, but you got to be really careful not over jumping, because it's pretty easy to do that. In a couple of sections, you can kind of snake your way and like totally skip corners. So, you know, it's not like so much of a racing track in that sense, because the no tough blocks. It's more of just a for fun outdoor style track. So, you know, if you're like super professional at the game, then you're definitely going to find some little cut lines and shit like that. But I don't think it hurts it too bad, because that's kind of what it is. I mean, it is a crazy Aztec track. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. I feel like maybe the Aztec portions could have been, maybe there could have been one or two more of them. Or like I'm saying on this one over here, you could have went right up the middle, which is like perfectly built for it over there. But yet the track goes to like the bottom of it. I don't know. Just seemed kind of weird. It's like, it would have been so much more cool to have it go up the middle. So I mean, that's just my personal opinion. Some people may not agree with that. It's whatever. But I just think if you went up the middle, you'd really be feeling like you were going on the top of the Aztec structure, you know? So either way, he's got, you know, fairly standard berm in the corner and pretty standard, like, one inside rut, one berm on the outside, that kind of vibe going on. So, but yeah, some of his, I don't know, some of his little mud sections, that they were just almost like too difficult for a mud section, just because there would be like small little janky ruts that you could barely see, and it just, I don't know, for me, it just made it a little bit weird there. But I do like how his his like tree, as many trees as he's got, it kind of really does give you that jungle-esque feeling. And like right here, you know, he's got another spot that would just be perfect to ride up on, but that's not where the track goes. I just I don't really understand why he didn't like implement that into the track a little bit better, but all in all, cool design. I've just been waiting on somebody to make a, you know, an Aztec jungle style track like this, and finally somebody did. And you know, obviously could have been done maybe a little better, but I think overall it's pretty solid. I mean, he knows what he's doing as far as building these things over here and how he put together the decals. He's got, you can see like where the like two decals would meet. He's almost got them blurred right there in a sense. Look at that. That's interesting how he did that. That was one of the biggest, most difficult things in making it happen when I was trying to make a track like this, is get two of these like stone decals like repeating over each other without looking just absolutely ridiculous. You know, it's like really hard to actually do that in the game. It's not like copying over and over and over a dirt decal. It's just not like that at all. But I feel like you can see his trees right over here. Like he's got one kind of tree that's pretty jungly. You know, he really does. He's got, it's like this, it's this one right here that I'm looking at right in front of, right where that paused is right there. That tree right there is way more jungly than like that tree right there that I'm looking at. Those are more like, you know, your standard woodland style trees and stuff. But overall, I mean, the jumps, they weren't crazy difficult. I was so happy that I was able to wheelie this on the first try. I was like, hell yeah, dog. Wheelie right up over, cha-ching. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that was actually really fun riding up that. I was kind of surprised I was actually able to. I was thinking for a minute that you wouldn't be able to, but cool. He's got the water sections, different pond sections, and quite a few different areas. So, I mean, I feel like he executed somewhat, but certain elements were a little bit off on it. But in an overall sense, I'm going to give this track I'm going to give it 8 overall. And I'm going to say the difficulty is, you're probably looking at medium here. Some of the jumps, obviously, you're going to have to let off a little bit, like this one right here. But then his design starts getting more cool. Like in this mountain section, he changes up the decal a little bit, even though it does look a bit bizarre over there. It's just kind of all over the place. But I like how it's just the whole, like, this whole basic canyon he's got through here just fits the track really well. I like this part of the track, you know. I feel like if the whole track had this kind of like variation and look to it, it would have been super, super cool. But, you know, it's like this is what the real different aspect of the track is. And then when you get on this other part, it's like it all kind of just looks super similar. Like the off track is all the same looking trees, same looking grass. That was the only real like section of the track that looks super different besides the that little Aztec structures, you know. But I still like how it all came together. I really do. I like how, you know, you really do feel like you're getting somewhat lost in the jungle in the other aspects, but then you come over here and it's like, whoa, it really opens up to this crazy looking section. And I like how he pulled all that off, man. So decent job on the track. I like the vibe around it. I like some of the off-track grass. Got two different. He's got like a bush and a smaller grass billboard or statue or whatever that is right there. So it's definitely solid. It's a solid design, and adding those Aztec structures like that right there, that is cool, man. That is cool. You got some like temple run action going on this track. Sick. And, I mean, as far as the on-track, it's not just the greatest on-track ever, for sure. But, I mean, there is a couple of fun little unique sections and things like that. But, yeah, man, so either way, like I said, the 8 overall for it. If it wouldn't have had the cool Aztec structural design, it would have been more like maybe a 5, you know, or something like that, or a 6. But the fact that it's got that Aztec design, he's got the fog effect. He's got that one area where you really get you immersed and you're like going down in this valley in an Amazon forest. All of that is what sort of boosts it up to an 8, in my opinion. Just because it's not, I've never really ever seen it on a motocross game before. Maybe it has been on one of the older ones, or maybe somebody's made something like this in Reflex. I'm not quite as keen on all the Reflex tracks, but I've never seen anything like this on MX Simulator. So that alone definitely adds some points to it. But hey, dudes, I just wanted to thank all of the past donators, and I don't actually have a top monthly donator at the moment, so there's nobody in that spot right now. But like I'm saying, any donations I get, your message actually gets read at the beginning of the video. And, you know, I tell how much you donated and tell you if you ask me a question, I'll answer it, things like that. More so, I'll see that a lot more than I would like a comment, even though I do look at the comments. They get kind of all flooded together. But, yeah, so don't forget, you can follow me at Spencer Turley, no space, no capital, and I have all of my playlists on my front page. My email is spencerturley@live.com for any sponsorship offers. I mean, I'll accept. It definitely depends on what it is, but I mean, you know, there's all different kinds of sponsorship opportunities, like put my hay bale on one of your custom tracks for whatever, or I mean, you know, we can work out any sort of little sponsorship deals or shout outs or whatever kind of case it may be. You know, I'm not necessarily talking about like Lipton has to hit me up on my email and sponsor me, or Haynes has to hit me up and sponsor me. Like, I understand it's going to be you know, not quite that caliber just yet, but yeah, so either way, appreciate you guys watching all the videos. Later, dudes.